historical place, the Capicon in Catacomb. Holy, look, it's like it's 1 o'clock. I'm sorry, Catacombs. I can't. It's like 1 o'clock almost too. Catacombs. Oh my god, I can't do this today. Catacomb. Sorry. I even read it too, and I said it differently. Welcome to your seat Around the Roundest Table, a podcast where we talk about the hottest topic in news you probably didn't even know exists. So grab your seat, get comfy, and let's get started. Welcome to our episode 4.
We got it to 4.
We made it this far. Anyways, if you guys haven't seen the last episode, we did distant learning. So today's episode, we'll be doing something much... How would we say this? How describe this episode? It's very paranormal talk that we're doing. So we'll be talking about experience with paranormal stuff and like myth, like legends, that stuff like that. So yeah, whoever wanted to start since.
All right, so let's I think we should start off with like everyone's like most well known, because we're in the United States, right? So let's start off with the cases that we've been talking about. The Conjuring, the movie based off the real story of was it Amityville? Amityville, right? Or am I?
Amityville.
So what? Does anyone have that pulled up right now? like what was the story?
Yeah,
does anyone know like the actual?
Can someone send it to me?
I got it.
You got it? You got it?
Okay, there. Kristen can read it to you guys.
So, Amityville Horror is, quick summary. Amityville Horror is, Amityville is a town in Long Island, New York, and on November 13th, 1974, a 23-year-old man named Ronald DeFeo Jr. murdered his entire family while they were asleep, including his parents and 4 siblings. 13 months later, I don't know if I'm pronouncing this correctly, but the Lutz family purchased the home at a drastically reduced price because of the murders, and they only lasted about 28 days before leaving it. Because they said that there was a lot of paranormal activity that was going on in the house, obviously connected to Robert DeFeo's murders. So far, what it says here is that the stepfather, George Lutz, had a history of dabbling in the occult. He was said to wake up at 3:15 a.m. every morning, which was around the time that...
fuck that.
It
was the same time that Robert had killed his family back then. The Lutz family had smelled strange odors, and they saw things oozing from the walls, and they would experience cold spots in certain areas of the house.
Phasmophobia.
At one point, a priest came to bless the house, and the priest allegedly heard a voice screaming, "Get out!"
Oh.
And he had told the Lutz family to never sleep in that particular room in the house. I guess they couldn't leave for whatever reason. Other stuff that would happen was a nearby garage door would open and close, an invisible spirit would knock a knife down in the kitchen, and a pig-like creature with red eyes would stare down at George and his son Daniel from a window. And George would wake up to his wife, Kathy, levitating off their bed, and sons Daniel and Christopher also levitating from their beds.
Yeah, nah.
Wait, so I want to clarify. So like we got you know like the BuzzFeed Unsolved, right? You got Shane that's like really like, you know, he doesn't really believe, like within this group. Do you guys all believe? You guys all believe in the superstition?
Yeah.
Kristen?
Me,
Yeah.
Jay?
I wouldn't say I'm a believer. Like the thing is like what I believe is that like there are like maybe like spirits, but I wouldn't believe that like there's evil spirits. I just know that I just feel like there's spirits. You know, like there's just
So you don't think there's
feeling to
demons?
it. Well, not really. Because like
Not really.
demons, like I'm not really religious either, so I'm just like demons, devils, angels, gods, guardian angels, that type of thing. I see like supernatural things more on the side of like people that have passed, rather like just them, their like whole entirety, and that's the only part I focus on, rather not like you know who's controlling them or like who's like keeping them in check, that type of thing, rather.
I haven't seen someone levitate, but do you guys like believe like someone would levitate like that?
So I witnessed like live shit, like live exorcisms before, like where they speak different like voices, like a man's voice coming straight out of a woman. But I haven't seen anyone levitate or twist their necks and stuff like that. So,
you know, Steven, I've seen that too.
Yeah, so
you know where? Justin.
Oh my god, bro.
What? No.
I'm a true believer. Like, honestly, wow, Justin.
No.
Yeah, I've seen, I've literally heard a woman's voice come out from a man's body.
No.
Oh yeah, that's true.
What?
Yeah,
That's so
very
true.
right? Yeah.
Why is my name there?
He's so confused. He doesn't even know what's going on right
But
now.
Steven, have you actually seen someone like levitate?
No, I don't think so, but I think there's a point where like, you know, like spiritually, like there's like a level, right, of like how bad, like I don't know how to explain it, but like I feel like I know when I have an energy of like when there's like something really bad versus like okay and good, you know? But like within these exorcisms or things like that, just like talking tongue and stuff like that, I feel like they could be replicated, you know? Or like like they learn, or I'm not calling it fake. I'm a believer, but like there's some scenarios where I think they're fake, but like, you know, levitating might be because like I'm not sure you watch. I'm pretty sure everyone actually watched The Conjuring 2 because I made everyone in here watch it. But like, oh, you haven't seen it, but have you seen it? You haven't seen it. Oh, okay. Spoiler alert. They say she's levitating, but there's pictures of her that looks like she's just jumping, right? So I can't
Jumping on the bed.
I can't say if levitation is a thing unless we get like a real priest up in here or like an exorcist up in here, you know, that's really high reputable. Talk about it.
I just wanted to.
Yeah, go ahead, Jay.
One quick thing, like when you were saying like you don't want to call like people talking in tongues like, fake, and I was like, I understand that because some people can record that and just basically like find a way to replicate it or copy their own way and make it seem like they know tongues when in reality they might not even know like what even like the whole thing is. So I get what you mean.
I think speaking in tongue is different because I've seen people speak in tongue.
Oh,
right.
Well, I've seen it only in one occasion, which was that specific occasion, because I don't think any random or normal motherfucker would be walking down the street like, wow, like, you know. I'm not trying to make fun of these guys or like these spirituals, or I love y'all, don't kill me, but like, yeah, you don't randomly see someone walking down the street speaking that type of shit, you know.
It's more of like a personal thing, more like than like a random thing, you know.
Slytherin. I'm joking.
No.
Stop!
No.
Don't use that type of tongue.
Well, personal as in like because you know, the reason why you speak in tongue is so that you know it's between you and God, right?
Wait, so wait, you speak?
I don't think if you're If we're going supernatural, paranormal, that's usually like on the bad side of things. I don't think they're speaking in tongues to talk to God.
Yeah, I think
I think they're speaking to something negative.
because
Maybe
everything's
it is
backwards,
partial
right?
tongue. Maybe.
Wait,
I don't know how to explain it, but like, yeah.
isn't
Maybe
tongue
at this
backwards?
point. What?
Isn't speaking
What?
tongue backwards or?
No, that no. Okay.
No, what? You might as well
No.
record them and listen to it backwards. Then speaking tongue is more of like an encryption, I'd say.
Okay.
It's its own like way of, because from what I've witnessed with tongues, it's like people would basically like it's expression through like noises from your mouth. Like I don't know what they're saying. I don't know if they were saying anything. But the thing is like they were speaking in their own like variation of language that like of course you don't know if it's real. You don't know if, you know, they're actually communicating to you or something else. So you're just like, of course you feel overwhelmed too. Well, in that moment I felt overwhelmed because I didn't know what was happening. But
Exactly.
it was at a worship camp, but at the same time it's like
Playing the Ouija board.
You can have fun
Yeah.
with that, buddy.
No.
You can have fun
We
with
can get that at a toy
bud.
store. So
Oh, you know what? You can have fun with that.
no,
I
we
find that
can't have
so crazy that you can buy a Ouija board at a toy store. Like,
That's true.
Oh yeah, you
what?
that.
Remember, it was at Toys R Us.
Even if you don't believe in it, even if you don't believe in that stuff, it's like, why would you put that for kids, for little kids?
so they can just play around.
Go ahead, Jay.
you know what I just imagined? You know how there's like kid first instruments? Like there's guitar, like there's,
My first instrument is the old
my
Ouija board.
first Ouija board.
Ouija board.
This is my
gosh.
instrument.
My
Like,
first tarot
Literally
card.
go to your like class and show it and be like, yeah, you know the class like show and tell kind
Show
of
and
thing.
tell.
My word, Ouija board.
My forced one.
Also, not only is part of the Conjuring like series, it's also an actual movie based like the Amityville horror movie, the film basically. It actually is a movie itself. So if any one of you guys are curious of watching it or like curious about the story, there is a movie based off the book. It's very well documented about the whole entire like story. And it's like during the 1979. Hopefully I'm wrong. I'm just guessing from like that around that time there was a film that's about it based on the actual story of the family and stuff like that. So if you guys are curious of wanting to know a little bit about it, check it out. And there is also a book. I recommend reading it because I read it for fun because I was very curious after watching the movie and I read it as like an audible kind of thing. It was very interesting. And the character that they cast are very like similar to the actual family itself. So I would recommend if you guys are curious on that. My question is, do you guys think is a host like when it comes to like stuff like this? Like
a hoax,
or,
like fake.
Yeah, a host. Yeah, like fake, like people coming up with it or like stuff like that. That's my question. What do you guys think?
I'm about to jump in. I don't think. Well, there. Okay, so when documentary, like when you watched it, was it like over dramatic as like the Conjuring movies, where they over dramatic everything?
It's not like they over dramatic it. The screenwriter himself, let me find the article about it. He basically was like telling that no matter if it's like real or fake, he wanted to show what it is from his perspective, kind of thing. So I don't know if it's like a host when during the documentary, because like fully here is let me read it off what he said. So he said, I wasn't really concerned about whether or not it was true story. It doesn't matter to me. I had to create a reality of my own. That's what he said when they asked him.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because I know in The Conjuring, the depiction of like the cross going upside down, that's
Yeah.
just Hollywood. Because even in like the Bible and stuff, if the cross is upside down, it still be holy. So that's what I meant by over dramatic. I'm not sure about every other thing, but the cross being upside down, that's not something satanic. I hope so.
Jay?
I wanted to ask Steven. Steven, what's your take on devils and demons? Like, do you
I
believe that they like exist?
Yes, I
our
honestly
realm?
believe, because like honestly I don't go to church right anymore, but
Yeah.
like there's a part of me, if like if I were to go to the Amityville horror house itself, like the original house, and like I confronted like something there, like let's say I got possessed, like I'm not saying like get possessed, I don't want to, but like if there was some bad entity, you would call it, right, and it were to do physical harm to me, like scratching or like feeling pain, right, then I would call that a demon. Because what would you consider a demon and what would you consider a ghost? A ghost would be something that you see visibly but they can't interact with you, right? It's more like a hologram kind of thing versus something that's actually physically attacking you, right? So what would you call a bad entity that's attacking you?
Poltergeist.
Poltergeist?
Is that not the correct?
Well. I mean, yeah. Well, there you go. Poltergeist, or like, on what level would you cancel out demon versus devil and like poltergeist? Do you believe in poltergeist?
No.
So
The thing is
Remember
like,
your phasmophobia
okay.
education?
Yeah,
Oh my
because the
God.
thing is like I have amazing footage. What I was trying to say is, the thing is, do you think that people that are unknowing or do not believe in spirits naturally would not get like affected? Let's say in the real world, not the movies, but like they don't really believe in it, right? And then they saw a ghost and they're like, oh, it's just another person. They move by. They don't even double check it because they have like no thought in their head to double check that's a ghost because they don't believe in ghosts. Do you think that that would have less effect on their way of overcoming us or like persuading us to look further in and get more interested? That way our walls get more up or down. So it's easier for them to come into our inner space and mess with our consciousness. Because I feel like if people were not aware of the supernatural and there's a demon around, right? But they don't really like give two like thoughts about that demon, right? And they're just like, what is that? And they just walk away. Then I feel like it would have a hard time like finding a way to like interact with that person before, because I feel like I don't think like even if there were demons, I don't think it would be so easy for them to like take a host's body, because I feel like the only way you could actually connect, like there needs to be an initial link, say, because then there's a way for them to communicate. But without that link or that first like interaction, then it would just not even be able to happen. Do you know what I mean? Like,
Can I respond to that? I think my perspective on it is that when I think of the possibility of a demon taking over a person, right? I don't think that, okay, well, now I'm taking over, so you're going to see me levitating and my head's going to turn 360 and all of that. I think that there's levels to it, right? I think that, I guess this comes from the fact that I have a religious background. Like, I also haven't been to church in a while. Like, I want to say maybe 2 years, maybe a year. But I guess from that, what I've always felt was that, there's many types of demons, like there's many types of sins and things like that. So even if you don't believe in that stuff, I kind of always interpret it as, well, it would actually be easier for a demon or a bad entity to enter that person's body because their defenses are low, because they don't believe in it, they don't think about that, people like that maybe wouldn't, I guess, do things to protect themselves. However you protect yourself from that, I guess. But at the end of the day, like, my point is that since they don't believe in that stuff, their defenses are lower. So it's easier for a demon or a bad entity to take over. Now, like I said, like it could take over a body, and that could just turn the person into like a really, really aggressive, abusive, mean person who's like punching people, or you know, whatever the case. It doesn't have to mean that, you know, a demon took over and now I'm levitating. It could be that it's a horrible person or something, you know, like maybe that person stole from a bank or whatever, you know, like that could be considered something bad that is in your soul and made you do something like that. So I don't think it should just be looked at as like, well, if a demon's entering my body, then you're going to see me jumping off the walls. I think that it comes in many forms, not so drastic ones, and it would, I guess, alter your personality a bit and make you do things that maybe you normally don't do, or turn you into a person that you're not. You know, just because you have something in here, in your soul.
In your soul. To answer Steven's question from before, if the story is a host in the movie, there's actually, the question was asked for the family, apparently. They said that the Amityville, I'm saying this wrong, I know I am, it just, the horror movie have been subject of controversial and debate. Apparently the family agreed that the movie is kind of exaggerated, the whole entire thing, but to what degree we might never know, but that's what they said. And it continue on saying that the real George Lutz, right?
Yeah.
Am I saying it wrong? Yeah.
I think so.
Yeah, admit that as of 2005, he had been involved in no less than 14 Amity-related lawsuits. In an interview with People magazine, he also emphasized that lawsuit was were to protect his family story rather than being about money. So each member of the real family has, at some point, conduct one or more of their other family member. So this particular member of the family have also, on one or more occasions, attempt to profit from their own take on the real Amityville haunting. So none of this mean that the entire story is a hoax, but they do allow room for doubt. Perhaps that's the only fact that is indisputable, is that Ronald D. Fell Jr. was convicted of murdering his family in Amityville prior to the Lux moving it in. So we don't know if it's, well, the family thing is kind of exaggerated, but to some degree they don't know if it's a hoax or not. So yeah, that, and also there's gonna be a link on it, so if any one of you viewer are curious, there's gonna be a link on it. There's like interview of the actual family that move in after the actual family, the Lux family that move in. They're the actual like interview of the husband and wife interviewing Good Morning America in 1979, discuss about their like event and stuff like that. So if you guys are curious.
Can you imagine what the very
keep going.
No, I was gonna say, can you imagine what the very first paranormal experience would have been like?
Normal.
They just see a guy.
They just I can't imagine.
Discovered magic, Danielle. Like,
Yo, wizard Harry.
Yo, there's something up with this dude.
he's onto something.
He
got a plan.
this motherfucking spit.
He's got a plan.
Well, that's a good thing though. He brought it up. He brought up a good question though. Like, how do you know like when people started seeing these things as paranormal?
Yeah, cause shit, yo, if I saw
feel
it,
like
I would have been like, wow, that's a magic trick.
I feel like you don't until like you have other people come into your house and like witness it with you. I feel like, in my opinion, because like, how the fuck would you know?
What do you?
The first guy who spoke tongue.
The first person to.
This motherfucker spitting.
He on something. He on something.
Oh my god. Oh my god. Jesus Lord, you guys.
Imagine like, yo, that's when you take out the cross and be like, huh, this shit ain't doing anything.
What
am I holding for?
What?
Wait,
Like starts flipping the cross upside down like, yo, I'm up in Oregon.
He starts throwing like
God.
fucking silver at it, you know. Start reading shit off the Bible.
Let me throw some salt at it.
Just,
So
oh my
what I think is it, I forgot who mentioned it before about like how would you know? I feel like you could also ask the same thing. How would you know if there was like a good spirit around you? Because you don't really, it doesn't hit you firsthand. I feel like maybe in time you find out, or maybe someone tells you, or I guess like on either end, there's really no way to know when something is around you, unless maybe you can really feel it.
True.
Right. But how about making the very first holy water?
Listen. Listen.
Making the very
Yeah.
first holy water.
Yeah, you know, like someone just
Listen.
thought about, oh
Oh,
shit, you know
read
what,
the
holy water's gonna
Bible.
work.
She's like, I ain't gonna talk to these credence.
What?
Yeah, but like actually thinking that it might work on that.
Well, I mean, it's holy.
Expect.
No.
Yeah,
I feel like
I don't know.
I feel like
Yeah,
when
It's
but-
you
not like
say-
regular tap water.
But as for
It's
someone
like-
who might be like agnostic about it, you never know.
Well, okay. I was thinking on the first person, like think that holy water would work, but you gotta think of it as a religious aspect at that point, because the first person to, spray holy water on someone that was possessed would not have been an agnostic person. It would have been mostly a religious person that was like, okay, God help me. This is a God. This is like a holy artifact. Let me try to like have God on my side and help me, in this situation rather than willy-nilly. But I was thinking when you said witness the first paranormal activity, the reason why I laughed was because I just imagined like your neighborly lady walking down the street and you're outside the door watching like your place burn on fire and you're like your wife is screaming from the window like all sporadically and then the woman's just like, that's peculiar. And just walks
strange.
away.
It's chaos. Nothing makes sense anymore from that point on.
Honestly,
That's peculiar.
peculiar.
Just walks away.
Oh, that's very interesting.
Yeah.
But you gotta, okay, the first paranormal activity, I'm thinking back to the Neanderthals because
Oh, Jesus.
imagine, right?
Whoa.
Not really like
Whoa.
logically thinking, but imagine they just look at like your one caveman and he just start like writing like hieroglyphs like all around the caves and you're just like, that's peculiar. Right?
Really? I would just imagine them
know?
throwing sticks.
No, but what I'm saying is like, imagine if like it's an actual paranormal like activity that occurred. You're just gonna be standing there like, what is he doing?
Imagine a big ass T-Rex demon, bro. Holy crap! Because like they're like stories of like animals, right? You see like ghost dogs and stuff. Imagine seeing a ghost T-Rex, bro. Back in the day.
Smithsonian Museum.
Rawr.
I can just imagine them throwing the fucking
Rawr.
spears then.
RAR XD.
Raw XD. Oh.
But when we think of like paranormal, do we think just ghosts, demons, devils, or can we broaden that out to like what else do you guys consider
Like angels?
It's
UFOs?
No, I was thinking
Is
more like aliens. We could think aliens, Bigfoot.
UFO.
Oh.
Oh wait, how about this one? The sounds
Wait, would that be
comes from the sky.
paranormal or extraterrestrial?
Let's see.
Wait, what?
What's the definition of paranormal
Paranormal.
then?
Detonating events or phenomenon such as telekinesis or clairvoyance that are beyond the scope of normal scientific understanding. So yeah,
Hmm.
I think
Basically.
the UFO would go under that
UFO?
because you can't scientifically prove that something abducted a cow.
I don't.
Why
It's
were there always
crazy.
cows?
Yeah, I don't.
I don't know why it's always cow. I don't know.
Were they hungry?
I want some steak tonight. Let's go get a cow.
Yeah.
Shit, you're
I like
stealing Wagyu right off your front lawn.
Fresh stock.
It's looking beefy.
Beef jerky.
So like things like the Loch Ness monster, Bigfoot,
Oh, Bigfoot.
moth, like king moth, or like what was it, that moth-eyed thing in Maryland? There was something in
There's a
Maryland.
moth eye.
Like Bunny Bridge,
Skinwalkers.
There's the most popular one, the sounds that comes from the sky.
Oh,
Oh,
yeah.
I forgot about that.
Because I had an experience with that one.
Oh, my
Please do
mom
speak.
heard that.
Yeah.
What did it sound like?
It was just thumping noises, like echoing.
Wasn't
Wait, dumping?
Thumping.
Well,
Dumping. Oh,
I don't know how you heard it. The way that my mom described it was if you guys or if the viewers have ever watched the movie War of the Worlds with Tom Cruise, it's those aliens and like the giant machines that came up from the earth that were put there thousands of years ago. They make this like, yeah, I guess they make this like, I don't know if electronic is the word I would say, but it's like a alien whirring sound. As she
It's like a trumpet
described the
noise.
sound.
Somewhat.
Yeah, she described it as that, as sounding like that.
The one I heard
I don't know
was
if you guys have heard
echoed
about it.
throughout Long Island and yeah.
wasn't it an EMP thing? Where all
No.
the power
I
went
would
out?
imagine like something like just a giant thing falling from a building. And
A lot of people tried to make sense of it. There are videos of it if anyone wants to look it up, viewers included. Hearing it all around the world. People just record. They were
amazing.
confused and they just started recording it.
Yeah, so
mermaids.
that would tie, right? That would tie right into paranormal, no?
or would it
That would be paranormal. Yeah,
supernatural?
I don't.
Well, no.
It could be both.
Supernatural?
I don't know if I would include aliens as paranormal though. I've always just
No.
my understanding of paranormal is always like demons and things like that. Aliens was just its own.
Yeah, aliens. It's
It would be extraterrestrial thing. No.
yeah, it's extraterrestrial.
Let me search it. What the fuck?
It's
Yeah, I'm like
extraterrestrial,
confused.
right?
extraterrestrial and it's supernatural.
There's
Well,
yeah,
what is supernatural then?
Yeah.
supernatural. Okay, hold on. Supernatural versus paranormal.
Natural.
Hold
That
on,
is
hold on, hold on,
super.
hold on. We're researching this last minute. Sorry.
Yes.
Okay. Supernatural. Okay. Okay. Supernatural is like Frankenstein kind of thing. Those supernatural is like I don't. How do you explain supernatural?
Like
It's like
monsters.
yeah. So basically, element that cannot be understood by science and operate outside the rule of the real world. That's what supernatural is.
Yeah.
And then
like
paranormal
monsters.
are paranormal is basically like what Steven said. For example, like folklore, fairy tale, cultures, alien, fairies, shapeshifter, and the undead.
Well, there you go.
Aliens
Yeah.
are paranormal. I think extraterrestrial is just
It's
another
crazy.
name for alien,
Yeah, it is.
rather.
Well, it is. I just cannot associate with paranormal stuff.
And Kristen believes I'm an alien, so
I can't pronounce
You
that
are.
word. So
You're
I'm gonna
something
call it
else, my
aliens.
Extraterrestrial.
You're something else, my dude.
Extraterrestrial. Extraterrestrial.
Extra testicle.
Aliens. Okay.
What?
Period. Alien. But yeah,
I heard that. I heard that extra test.
basically paranormal tie under like creatures and stuff. Basically,
So do you guys?
So have you guys
supernatural
ever
elements.
experienced anything
Hmm?
that you couldn't explain?
Like for example,
yourself. If you
Like
guys
UFO?
experienced any, yeah, like UFO.
Oh,
Anything.
Like an animal that you were just like,
Oh, an
Oh.
animal.
You know.
Oh, God, no.
not
like-
not animal. No, never. I don't think.
like
I
events
believe
that-
in some, but like, I wouldn't say
Like
see.
TikTok has been posting a lot about skinwalkers. You guys know that? Like about
Yeah.
Oh,
are those
like
things real?
aliens that walk among us?
Wait, are those are real, right? Or am I crazy?
I don't know, but I'd love to meet one.
Like no, like as a like I'm saying that's a thing, right? On TikTok.
Oh yeah.
Alright.
Yeah, okay.
I've seen some videos about like aliens that are living among us and they live either within us or they've composed so much structure that they took and replicated our bodies living
Oh my
among
This is like
us.
another episode of Supernatural.
Aren't skinwalkers really just
It's
like
basically never mind.
witches? Or they're witch
Skinwalker?
that do bad things.
No.
Yeah, like
No.
if you look up the definition, it's a
Skinwalker?
No,
Harmful
skinwalkers
witch.
usually take on the form of You or
That
another
can
animal.
possess and take on the form of you or another
Okay.
animal. Yeah, if you look up, it says that.
It's
was
a
always
type
my
of
understanding of
harmful
that.
witch. Okay, so it's a type of harmful witch who have ability to possess or disguise themselves as an animal. In turn, is never used for a healer.
Okay,
Yeah,
so
'cause, like,
skinwalkers
I don't
aren't
have
the
TikTok, so
aliens
I
that
don't
come
know.
into the body. What are the?
There's actually a
what are-
movie about it. Hold on.
That's-
I don't
What?
have
That's
TikTok,
creepy.
so I don't know the videos that are posted. So I just kind of always knew a little bit about that, but that was always my understanding of it.
Ugh.
Skinwalker.
I don't think I'd want to see those videos though.
Like,
That's really
they're
interesting.
freaky. They're freaky as shit because like it looks like a dog. Like half of these things I've seen on TikTok, they look like big ass dogs, like werewolves.
Yeah.
Basically, they would look
Yeah.
like as
And
pictures.
then,
if you
and then
search up.
they're
Oh.
eating something or like they're screaming or some shit. I don't
So,
like.
so the thing is, when you skinwalkers usually eat what they transform into. So, like, let's say me, right? If a skinwalker were to see me, that would eat me and become me.
They're like Pokemon.
What do you
Okay,
call
so
it?
people are just making videos of this on TikTok.
Like they're hearing it or seeing something.
Seeing it, kind of.
Mm.
Same thing with like
There's
La
an animal
Llorona.
that they can't explain.
Yeah, but like
Yeah,
there's some
they-
pictures too.
Skinwalkers can become dogs, deers, whatever.
So basically anything.
So then, how do you know how do you know that you're seeing a skinwalker and not just
The
like a
way
wolf
they-
or a deer?
The way they walk, their eyes.
Ooh,
Oh, so she's asking like, how do you know
How
what
do you
is their
know?
first form? Like, what
How
are
can you tell, basically?
like what is their first form? Like, imagine that. Like, you're saying they become us, right? But like, what the fuck are they? Like, how the fuck did they become us before? Like,
I'm
besides,
telling you.
like what the
I
fuck?
think my confusion though is that like you guys are saying that there's videos of this on TikTok. I just don't think I would trust a video that's on
Well,
TikTok
yeah,
saying,
yeah.
"Oh, it's a skinwalker."
I was gonna
Oh,
say
it's a
that.
skinwalker. But like it could just be explained as an animal
here's
and you
the,
is in, just
Okay,
whatever
hold
it's doing in the
hold on.
video, I suppose.
Wait, okay, so apparently, a skinwalker, like we said, is a witch. But there's this site they're talking about it, legendofamerica.com. I will put the link in the thing so that Steven can put it in our down below if you guys are curious to reading about it. But from what I scroll and see, they're basically like humans, but they eat other living things, like cannibalism, basically. And so so to what their form is, quotation mark form, they are most often they are seen in form of coyote, werewolf, fox, dogs, bears, and cougar. I'm gonna say this wrong, but I'm gonna ignore that. Dogs and bears, yeah, but can take the shape of any animal. Then they wear the skin of the animal they transform into, hence the name skinwalker. Sometimes they also wear animal skull or antler on top their head, which brought them more power. They choose what animal they want to turn into depending on the ability needed
What
to
the
particular
fuck?
tasks, such as speed,
Fuck is
strength,
this?
enduring, still, claw, and teeth, etc. They may transform if trying to escape from sewer. So you basically don't fucking know what they are.
It looks like it's all explainable as a regular animal.
Yes.
Except morphed,
Basi-
like what do you
Yeah,
call-
and
Regular
hands.
human being.
what do you call those things? A morpher or like
Shapeshifter.
shapeshifter.
Shapeshifter, basically. Yeah, that was basically what they are. Yeah, their eyes are very human. When light or shine on them, they turn red. So,
So they're like vampires.
I don't know what they are. But apparently,
What is
it's
going
on.
on?
It's a very big legend
Okay, I'm
in
sorry for all
which
you
is of the
fanatics out there.
Southwest. Like, if you got everyone who's like studying like this kind of thing, it's very interesting.
Please inform us in the comments, please. Like, give
Please,
us,
yes.
like, the
If you guys know
comparisons.
more things about it,
Like,
please
this is
inform
kind
us.
of going off the head, but like, what the flying fuck? It's like, oh shit, new level upgrade. Like that's what I'm hearing. And then
But the thing is, it's like it happens like way back in the 1980s or like way back. Like this has been going on for a while, according to like this
folklore.
Yeah, it's basically a folklore, basically. That are
like the Loch Ness monster or Bigfoot and things like that.
Besides those, like what are within your cultures? I just want to ask, like in your cultures, what other folklores you guys hear when you guys were growing up?
What do you guys have? For us, I don't know.
Which you guys already know, and I think everyone here has seen the movie. But in Hispanic culture, we have the main one that I know of is La Llorona. And for anyone who doesn't know the story, it is about a woman. Her name is Maria, and she had a husband and 2 kids. I believe both of them were boys. They were little kids. And her husband often left their home for months at a time. And when he came back, at some point, he had been with another woman. I think he had always been cheating, but like one day he came home with that woman. And and Maria had seen them together. So enraged by her husband's infidelity, she took her 2 little boys and she drowned them in the river. And immediately after they died, she kind of overcame with guilt and she started screaming. People have said in the legend that when they come across her, they hear her screaming for her kids. It's because, in that moment she was. So because of guilt, she killed herself. So the legend is that she walks around, and I believe you hear her crying, you hear her weeping, which is why she's called Llorona, which means weeping woman. And I think it's that she kills people, kids that she sees that are misbehaving, that are doing bad things. She like takes them over, like lures them to her, and she kills them.
Oh, what a good
and
mom.
She just keeps doing that over and over.
Whoa. Good mom. The fuck?
No.
Huh?
Until that last part.
You didn't let her finish.
Wait, but
yeah.
Is it like, aren't there other cases where like she just like walk out, see her, you're basically dead too?
That's basically it. The fact that like if you do something bad, I think she like starts screaming or crying to get your attention, and once you hone in on her, that's it. She's got you. Doesn't matter where you go, where you hide, she will find you.
Jeez.
And get you.
What the fuck?
Imagine trying to call her pretty.
Jeez.
Oh my god.
Hey, you're pretty.
Imagine, bro, just like someone screaming for help, and then you come out and she don't kill you. God damn, bro.
No. Or just say like, yo, what up, baby girl?
What's up, big girl? Like
What's
that?
up,
you
baby
trying to spit game? Ew.
Lord.
I wasn't
Yeah,
listening.
to La
I was like,
Llorona.
oh, goodness. But imagine the amount of guilt and like the amount of emotion she must have had to become like paranormal.
She's been through a lot.
You know what I mean?
It seems like she's been through
a lot.
How much negative energy do you need to torture people for the rest of your like
life
existence? Not even life. She's dead. Existence.
I'm assuming in her life it was built up negative energy already because it was like months that her husband was doing this and coming and going.
I bet she knew every single time.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
But that's the Hispanic culture. So what about you guys? Is there anything like that?
Vietnamese culture, we have that one horror movie. That's like the only one I know of.
Wait, but is that true though?
I'm not entirely sure.
Oh.
What's the movie?
Explain.
It's called
Mui. So it's basically mean 10 in Vietnamese, right?
Yeah.
Mui. So it's like a Vietnamese horror movie. I feel like most of you knows it.
It's a portrait.
But if you don't, it's like how do you explain this movie?
Okay, so basically it's a Korean exchange or a Korean reporter that's going to Vietnam to report on a case of unsolved mysteries. Basically this one was a portrait, right? and basically Mui is the girl's name, I believe. And
Yes.
the girl in the painting, right? I believe she was raped, and the movie showed a lot of really gore scenes. So viewer discretion advised. If you're planning to
It's
watch
called
it,
Moe. It's called Moe, and it's also the name is The Legend of the Portrait. So if you guys are curious to
yeah.
check it out,
If you look at this portrait, right, you're known to be killed. You're gonna get killed, and no matter it slowly starts progressing. It makes you go crazy, like you're seeing stuff, and then the very last time you'll see is like she's coming for you. Like you'll see the portrait, I believe, at the very last minute of your life, and bada bing, bada boom.
Bada bing, bada boom.
Bada bing, bada
Over.
boom.
The deed is
Yeah,
done.
the deed is done.
Or about the Korean culture.
Kaiwi,
Galbi?
Yes.
Galbi?
Kaiwi.
I thought about the Konjiam Haunted Asylum.
Oh,
Well,
is that real?
Oh,
Is that actually real?
that was real,
Yeah, I
isn't
mean,
it? Yeah,
yeah.
it was real.
Wait,
That's
what
how
the
Somebody
flying fuck?
explain.
Well, basically, it's just a psychiatric hospital which was abandoned, but it's just a local legend or like an urban legend where patients started dying at this hospital, forcing the closure.
Like for no reason?
But that sounds like
For no reason.
what would happen at any asylum.
Wait, but like you
No,
said something about
no.
a group of friends.
They started dying mysteriously, though.
Like a group of friends did what? A group of friends.
No, forget that part.
Okay, you better
He's
not
like,
be
no, you
talking
can
about
forget.
us.
So the reason why he said a group of friends is
I'm
because there's an
confused.
actual movie about it, and it's literally called.
Yeah, we watched it
Konja.
yeah.
Yeah, psychiatric hospital.
Okay.
And the thing is like the whole live stream that they did, and they encounter all these spirits inside of this, like disturbed spirits inside of this asylum, and in the end, I don't even know because I didn't watch the movie, but the thing is like I believe it is a real hospital because you could literally look it up on Google, and
It's there.
it's
there.
in South Korea. It's in, what is it, Gyeonggi?
Oh,
Konji?
fuck
Konji.
Christ.
But it's blocked
What?
out though. I think it's blocked
the name
out.
is Gyeongyam, but like
Oh
I
yeah,
feel like,
Gyeonggi, yeah.
yeah, the location is Gyeonggi. So
Oh, I've seen movies like this.
South Korea has 3 major haunted sites, being
Oh,
the other one
no.
being Yeongdeok Haunted House and Nolbom Garden. So the haunted house is roamed by ghosts from the Korean War, and the garden is said that you could still hear the sounds of dishes being washed in the kitchen.
What the
Wow.
fuck?
That's creepy. But can I just say one thing is that when you
Yes.
compare like the westernized horror movies, thrillers, and you compare them to Asian horror and thriller, I have got to say I love Asians movies more just because of the way they play it out and the actors play it out, and just the way that like they encompass the whole horror aspect of it rather than like, boo, you're scared.
Hollywood.
Boo. It's Hollywood, and the thing is horror movies, I believe, should not be all about jump scares because I honestly, as much as I love a good jump scare, it's getting too boring. The thing is like nowadays, like It, I laughed in It because I didn't find it scary at all.
Exactly.
I didn't find it thrilling
That's
at all either,
hilarious.
'cause
That's
I was
funny.
like, okay, a group of kids are trying to fight a clown. Okay, cool. Stephen King.
Alien.
And I watched The Nun, and literally, spoiler alert, if anyone didn't watch The Nun, I literally sat in the theater and was like, did this girl just spit the blood of Jesus Christ on this nun? And everyone in the theater just looked at me, and I was like, I really don't like you guys.
I really don't like you guys.
The thing is
Well,
like,
honestly, yeah, go on. I answered like that. I thought you were done.
no, continue. I want to hear what you want to say though. I'm curious.
Honestly, I agree with what you said that like it's Hollywood. Like if you look at anything, doesn't matter what genre. If you look at any genre outside of US, you know, Asian, Indian, Spanish, whatever the case, it's usually a lot better. I think American stuff is just like very Hollywood and more about the money appeal than the actual content appeal. kind of sucks. I mean, if you think about it, there are a lot of movies that are from other cultures, other parts of the world, and they do the American remake or like the American version, and it's not the same, and it takes away from it.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Wait, D.
Yeah.
What was that about Kawi?
That's the Korean thing, no?
What's the
I
Wait,
never
what
heard of
is
Howie
it?
before.
So it's like
That's the first time I heard this.
it's like sleep paralysis.
Ah.
Oh.
Okay.
Also,
That's interesting.
Tells me nothing.
sleep
But
paralysis.
have you guys
Sleep paralysis.
ever
Sleep
experienced sleep
paralysis.
paralysis though?
I had that the
No.
other night.
Wait, you have?
Oh, you don't want to experience it. You don't want to
I think
experience
I
it.
experienced it once, and it's like kind of freaky because it's like you're there and you just can't do anything.
Like you can't move your body.
Yeah,
just there.
but it's like
Yes, I actually. Oh my god, it's
No.
crazy.
I wouldn't
Wait,
know.
do you at least
God.
move your tongue?
No,
no,
you
no,
like
you
No.
can't
your
move,
whole
bro.
body is paralyzed.
Oh, I
Paralyzed.
want to try
The only
experiencing that.
thing that works
No, but the
is
thing
your
is, like-
eyes. You can only blink.
I want to
but,
try
like,
experiencing
No, not
that.
some. Sometimes you can't even do that.
Never
You can't
mind.
even blink sometimes.
Because Justin, when I tell you that I was in your shoes and I was like, I want to experience it.
I
It was
don't.
like 3 months ago. I was literally sleeping. It was like 7 in the morning. I was taking like one of those like, oh, I fell asleep, at 6:30. Let me wake up at 7 o'clock type of naps. And I hear my alarm ringing. But when I tell you, like, I couldn't even open my eyes. Like, I'm conscious. I'm literally conscious that I'm like, my mind is running, and I'm like, I could literally like solve math problems if I wanted to. That wasn't the case because I was like, I can't move my arms, my body, my eyes. I was like, you're literally that's the closest thing to like actual paralysis I've ever felt. And I was like, this is horrible because you have no free motion of your body. You have no control.
I
And
don't-
it's not
Oh,
even
no,
like
no.
restriction.
Can I
You're
please add
literally
on to
on your
that?
bed. And it's like, it's not like someone's like holding you down. Like some people say that sometimes you could see a demon or a devil in the corner of your room in a dark room if you have sleep paralysis. But I didn't experience that. I experienced complete, utter, like your mind was so like it's so disconnected from your physical body that I was just like, why can't I do the things I am literally thinking about right now? And it's so scary to the point that like I don't know what woke me up. Sometimes people have said that they needed other people to come in and check up on them
Yeah.
and shake them awake to actually get them up and get that mind and body connected again. And I was like, that moment I woke up, I was like, I literally experienced it. Don't know if I ever want to experience that again because literally I was like, if I'm stuck here, my first thought was like, what if I'm stuck here? Like,
Okay, I
because
had
my
that
room's-
experience only one time, but then I was like, fuck it, I'm gonna just go back to sleep.
I
You
don't
can't.
want it. I don't want it.
Can I add on to that?
Kristen.
So, as a regular member of the sleep paralysis community,
no.
She got a membership card. and everything.
I do. I unfortunately suffer from this for years. I looked it up. I think some of the reasons, if I remember correctly, is like you either have trouble sleeping or also the way you sleep in your bed. The position can also cause it somehow.
Oh.
I don't remember what causes it for me. It probably is that I just have trouble sleeping. But so sleep paralysis, for those who don't know, you are legit paralyzed. You
From the
cannot
head
move.
up.
It goes to the point where you may not even be able to open your eyes. And you kind of feel restricted in your breathing. It goes to the extent where some people, like Jay mentioned, you see things or you hear things or you sense things. Almost every time, like 90% of the time that it's happened to me, I've seen something or I felt something.
Jesus.
And yeah, so I remember them like perfectly. And there was one time where, well, normally what it is for me is like I'm stuck, and if I'm able to open my eyes, then I can open them. But if not, then I'm stuck with my eyes closed, and I start breathing really heavy because I start getting anxious because I know that I can't move, and it feels like I get like a tingling sensation because I'm trying to get my body to move, but it's stuck, right? So sometimes what's happened is I would feel like there's something on top of me, like if I'm laying flat on my back, it feels like there's something on top of me weighing my chest down, but like actually sitting on me. A lot of times when it happens, I'll feel like there's something in my room watching me, but I can't look at it, or I kind of tell myself just leave it alone, don't think about it, just try to go back to sleep or wake up. This one time I actually saw, I don't know how I saw it, but I was on my back, and when it happened, I was able to open my eyes, and there was like a coffin on top of me. I just saw like a coffin, but I was able to see inside of it, and I saw a person inside. I knew who that person was, and I was like, "What the hell is going on?" It scared me so much that I woke up crying, and I like ran to that person. It was just like I told them what happened and all of that because I was freaked out, right? What Jay said, where like for some people it takes the other person to get them out of it. I've slept on the phone with like my friends or my significant others before, and when it's happened and they happen to be on the phone with me, they tell me that they hear me and it sounds like I'm screaming or like I'm grunting or like I'm making sounds like I'm in trouble, like if I'm having a nightmare, but I'm not actually doing it with my mouth open. So I'm kind of just like, you know? And they've had to like call my name over and over. I know that they can hear that because when I'm experiencing it, I'm awake, obviously. So if I know someone's on the phone with me, I start making those sounds to try to get that person's attention. Hopefully they're awake or they wake up to get them to like help me. Because sometimes it does take the other person to like either physically push you awake or I guess talk to you through it to get you out of it. A lot of times if no one's around to get me out of it, I kind of just force myself to go back to sleep. Even if I'm wide awake, I just force myself and then I wake up and I'm fine. It is a terrifying experience. And to have that all the time, it's really annoying.
Don't want it.
I don't wish that on anybody.
I never witnessed it or like had it, so I don't. Thank God melatonin.
Well, melatonin wouldn't like protect you from it. It really just depends on like if you have trouble sleeping or I think your diet or how you sleep. Sometimes you just get it because you get it.
So this would happen to anyone.
It could happen to anyone.
That's fucking scary. But like,
don't want it.
I don't want that.
No, I don't. And as me, who already suffers from like anxiety, it just adds to it in the moment because I'm freaking out.
Nope.
I freak out too. Holy.
Nope.
Wait, but
do you think?
Oh, sorry.
I was just gonna ask a question. Like, do you think the most effective way to get out of sleep paralysis, going back to sleep?
No. It's just the only thing I could do at that moment. Like the incident I mentioned where I saw the coffin, the person I saw in that moment was my mom. And I think that freaked me out so much that I was able to wake myself up from it. But a lot of the times, if I can't wake myself up, I just bite the bullet and go back to sleep. But I'd rather be woken up. I'd rather wake up on my own. Because if I go back to sleep, I could wake up and it could happen again.
Yeah, but my thought was when I was under literally fell asleep and woke up again because I feel like if you think about like a pen, you pen, that little like pen's gonna come out. But then if you look at the inner mechanisms of like the top of the pen, you see that it has inner jags where you can go in and it goes out and it just stays out. So what I'm thinking is like if you're out of your body, right, you're disconnected. But if you fall back asleep, it might connect you and you might have that link. You just stay there and you wake up and you're completely fine. I'm trying to think if sometimes maybe your interlocks may be missed and you might go back into sleep paralysis. But if you go back to sleep, what are the chances that you might catch on to your body and just wake up now?
Yeah, I mean, if you're going through it, if you can get yourself back asleep, either one or two things will happen. You can go through it again. I've had it happen where it's 2-3 times in a row, or you just wake up normal the next time. But that's why, since I've had it happen where it's multiple times, I'd rather just wake up. Like if it's happening to me, just someone get me up or I get myself up, whatever the case, because I'd rather not continuously go through it. Yeah.
Another things that we wanted to put in is a historical place. The Capicon in Catacomb. Holy,
Combs.
look, it's like It's 1 o'clock. I'm sorry. Catacombs. I can't. It's like 1 o'clock almost too. Catacombs. Oh my god, I can't do this today. I can't do this today. Catacomb.
Sorry.
I even read it too and I said it differently. I can't do this. Ah.
I even saw the message. I was like, it's gonna come. It's gonna come. Capricorns.
Catacombs. Catacombs. Oh my god. I'm not okay.
Catacombs.
Catacombs. Look.
That took me by surprise.
So what about them?
In Paris. So apparently this is there's 2 places. There's one in Paris and then one in Rome. Apparently, I just found out about it. I just know the one in Paris. But it's basically this is a tourist attraction to all of you viewers who wanted to visit it. It's basically our human-made passageway for religious practice. So basically, it's like underground, kind of. So I can't even continue.
Yes, the catacombs. Catacombs are in Paris. I didn't know about the Rome. I know you can visit them, right? There's
Yeah, it's a tourist attraction. Apparently, so
movie based on the one in Paris.
Can you explain what's so like super?
Okay, so basically, it's a underground tomb between the 2nd to 3rd milestone between Rome and I think Paris, from what I'm reading. So basically, I'm gonna butcher it again. Someone say it.
Catacombs.
Catacombs. Yes. It's a Latin word which refers to among the tombs. So basically, these tombs are replaced by like it's buried for human bodies, dead bodies underground. So
Literal skulls and body parts. Well, bones.
Oh.
Yep. So I think I don't know if it's like because in the movie it talks about the fact that Paris over time was like there was something happened to Paris that Justin, do you remember?
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
So there's a saying where if you do get lost, you're fucked if you get lost. You're basically into like another world, like an upside down. That type of shit.
Wait, so like is that the phenomenon that as above and so below?
Yep.
Yes,
Yeah.
that's what
Yes,
based
that's
on. Yes.
that.
No.
Yeah, it's
I
a true
believe,
place.
if I'm not mistaken. If I'm not mistaken, the ones in Paris, because I didn't know about the one in Rome, but the one in Paris is about 20 feet underground.
Yeah.
Holy fucking shit.
So talk about your claustrophobia?
Claustrophobia, yeah.
Claustrophobia, right? Yeah.
Oh, Santa Claus.
So it's literally, you see just walls and the floor
Like
and
it's
the ceiling,
very
it's all
compact,
skulls.
kind of.
And there's a
Yeah.
pathway.
It's like,
Mhm.
yeah, it's a literal maze of bones.
Yeah, and if you have to
But
follow
just
that pathway, if you get
imagine.
lost, you're fucked.
Yes.
Apparently,
Because you're
Okay,
underground, you're under
so
the city.
what it's called the death, like they name it is the gate of hell. That's what they call it, gate of hell. So basically it's so it's like a underground tunnel where put into when all of Paris cemetery started to overflow and overcrowded. So instead of like building another thing, they put it underground. So right underneath Paris now holds estimate of 6 million dead bodies throughout its tunnel. So it's just human skull. And yes, you can visit it, but I recommend doing it with a tour guide instead of going it by yourself if you're curious. But it is a tourist attraction. And then the one in Rome is, I just found out about it, is Christianity was legal at this time, so many early Christian was married close to this site, and their grave remain theirs today. So that's the one in Rome. And it doesn't even look like the one in Paris. Let me just say, it's like a church. It looked like a church.
Okay,
With-
so
Yeah, I think the
Dead
one in
body.
Paris is a little bit scarier.
It's underground. It's very underground. The
It's
one in Rome is,
literally a giant cemetery.
like
the
during
one in Rome is
war,
not
no?
underground.
Were
That's it.
they building it during the war?
The
I'm
catacomb.
just.
The late 17th century.
Oh,
Whoa.
whoa. Okay.
With what technology? Wait, 1700.
1700.
Wait. Maybe that ground wasn't. Well, actually, never mind. Yeah. How the.
You know what I mean? Like what technology?
Yeah.
Around 17 hold on.
Build
Crazy.
giant 20 foot deep
Maybe a
catacomb
cave.
maze full of.
Well, okay, so in the movie As Above Below, the girl basically describes the fact that apparently something happened in Paris, like an earthquake, where buildings just kind of collapse, and they have like a random tunnel underneath. So instead of like digging people out who die, they just kept it inside the tomb, and it becomes like a tunnel down there. This is from the movie reference. I don't know about like why or like how true that is, but that is.
I don't think
Okay,
that's true.
so
I think that was just like a scary movie.
it is around. Okay, so the catacomb, the history of it started in the late 18th century, when major public health problem tied to the city cemetery led to decision to transfer dead content to an underground site. So it started in the 18th century. From there,
Mm.
very interesting. And yeah, yes, there's a movie about it. If you guys are curious to watching it, but yeah,
Dang.
I'm gonna.
I do not recommend going. I think
But if you're like
I-
curious,
I
if,
just would not.
yeah, honestly, don't do it. But like, if you're curious and wanted to go, it's
For your
open for
superstitious
you.
people.
For
That's
you
on
crazy
you.
people,
That ain't on us.
we say not to go. But if you're curious to that point, do you? You know what? You do you. But to wrap up this episode, we are on our 4th episode. So to wrap this up, clap clap. We did it. We went through that.
Yeah.
Woohoo!
Holy shit.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. We went through that. So please remember, I'm gonna say this again, like I do with every video we're gonna make. Click the bell notification to know whenever we upload our newest episode. We do upload it every Friday. Thank you, Steven,
Yes.
for that. And it uploads on Spotify, Anchor, and yeah, right?
Yes. I'll check out our
YouTube.
social media down
Yes,
below.
and all our social media will be down below. Yes, thank you, Steven. So please check it out. Like, comment, subscribe, and also please comment down. What is your folktale like legends from your culture and stuff like that, or anything we talk about in this episode? Please comment down. Like what was it? Skinwalker.
Your folklores, your supernatural experiences, and
Yeah.
comparisons.
That thing, yeah. So if you guys want to comment down, we are really really curious like just to read about it and comment back for you guys. And also articles that was talked in this episode will be down below also. So yeah, and remember, I'm gonna say this again, please suggest us topic to talk about. Anything, literally anything. It can be controversial. No, actually, never mind, scratch that out. Not controversial things that you guys want to hear us talk about, like opinion wise. Please comment, please click on the link down below. And yeah, thank you for watching. We'll see you guys next Friday.
Yeah.
Bye. 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 Bye.